What's going on, everybody? Is What's going on, everybody? It's Davey from the 80s, and you are now entering the cinema chop shop, so park your ass right there. And while you're there, don't forget to hit the like, the share, and the subscribe button. Also, if you check the link below, you'll see a Patreon account. You click it, you can become a member. All you got to do is try to recommend movies and music and trailers for me to react to. So click the damn link, homie. You already know what today is. Today is October the 1st, and we are beginning in the month of madness. Day 1, 2021 edition, you know what I mean? So today we are here with a nice little cult classic, a black cult classic by the name of Ganja and Hess. Now, this, my friends,
Subwoofer not found.
is a vinyl. I don't actually have the DVD, but it is available to watch online on multiple streaming platforms. I believe even last year it was on Shudder. So let's go ahead and get into this movie. So this is a 1973 experimental horror movie. This is one of the first black horror movies, honestly, from that era that I've seen that wasn't really a black exploitation film, like Blackula, Blackenstein, things like that, right? It has a serious feel to it, and honestly, the main actor is Dwayne Jones, who you guys might know from Night of the Living Dead. He's the main black guy from Night of the Living Dead, the original. And we also have Marlene Clark, who is from, I believe, Sanford and Son, right? She's the son's girlfriend. Now, the quick synopsis of this movie, Hess, I don't know why I want to call him Ganja, but Hess, Dr. Hess, he's an archaeologist, him and his assistant, have been digging around, and they found this ancient artifact from Africa that belonged to this tribe of blood drinkers, right? And what ends up happening, his partner goes crazy, has like some sort of psychotic breakdown, ends up stabbing him with this artifact. And this artifact, I guess, has the blood of said people. And what ends up happening is essentially Hess becomes a vampire. Ganja is who's looking for her husband, which is Hess's assistant. She comes by, talking to him or whatever. They end up in a nice little love affair. And she, too, eventually succumbs to being a vampire at the hands of Dr. Hess, right? So we have this whole movie is basically them trying to adjust to living as vampires and basically, I guess, coming to the idea that they're possibly going to live forever, right? So it's basically them learning how to deal with their newfound powers in a way and their newfound eating habits and things like that. But what I would like to highlight about this movie, bro, is that this movie, for its age, is very advanced, man. When I'm watching it, it's very grainy, it's very old. You get that sense that it's very low budget, but at the same time, it does a really good job at setting the mood, right? You have really slow shots. You have this shrieking soundtrack. The soundtrack is dope, by the way. That's the reason why I bought the vinyl. It has this, man, it kind of reminds me of Strange Fruit. Like the soundtrack, the music, it gives you that Strange Fruit vibe. If you guys know what song I'm talking about, you already know. This movie is very black oriented. Talks about African tribes, and there's this monologue from freaking Hess's assistant, and oh, man, it was such a fucking powerful scene. That monologue with Hess's assistant when he's sitting and writing in a journal and shit. Man, that's a really powerful scene. This movie has the soundtrack amplifies. I know I say this a lot, but the soundtrack of this movie really amplifies the scene. It really makes you kind of tense. It kind of makes you kind of nervous. The movie itself is just a really freaking low key gem that not too many people know about. I believe it goes under another title by the name of Blood Couple. I know this movie was also remade by Spike Lee. Fuck that guy. The remake is under the name In the Blood of Jesus, right? which reminds me, the ending scene in the church is very intense. It's it's nothing in this movie where I'm like, oh, it's like for the faint of heart. It's nothing like that. It's really like a psychological horror movie, and it's really slow. It's a slow burn, but just scenery and imagery and just the mood. Like it's a horror movie that's based in mood. Like most vampire movies to me, they don't really give you that intensity. There's nothing really scary about a vampire movie, right? In my opinion, it's just me. I haven't really seen a scary vampire movie. Um, but this movie really does a good job at trying to amplify the intensity with the soundtrack, with the scenery, volume levels, and it's just crazy. And it uses really, really strong imagery in order to get its point across. And I mean, like I said, I appreciate it. I appreciate this movie for what it is. It's a one of a kind gem because you don't have those kind of black horror movies from that era that aren't black exploitation, and then to have the man from freaking Night of the Living Dead basically headline this movie and nobody fucking knows about it. To me, it's like it's kind of crazy, because I didn't even think much about it. Like I was like, oh, now I'm like, oh, what other movies has he done? Because I never really thought too much about it. He had a random career where he was in a movie that took off, and I didn't even think too much about whatever happened to him afterwards, right? But like I said, Ganja Hess is a fucking amazing movie to me. I really liked it a lot. If you were into black horror, this is like, don't even give me that shit. But this is Jordan Peele before Jordan Peele type shit. The director, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the director is in the movie, and the director is, I believe, Hess's assistant. So the guy that gave that dialogue in the movie was in fact the director. So it's kind of crazy. I think it's kind of crazy when directors like insert themselves into a movie. But like, he fit in there. He actually has some good little acting chops. This movie is really well acted. It doesn't really come off as trying too hard. It doesn't come off as like that cheesy ass 80s vibe or that cheesy ass 70s vibe. It comes off as very serious, and that's kind of, to me, again, I'm taken back because when I watch this movie, I'm expecting a black exploitation film, and I didn't get that. So kudos to them for doing that. Um, I mean, if I have any knock about this movie, it will probably be like the blood and the fighting. Like there's like little fights here and there, and they're very fucking horribly choreographed. But I mean, at the same time, it's like I'm not really here for the fights, but it is fucking bad. And then also, the blood doesn't really look that realistic, but I mean, I can forgive that. I can forgive the red paint squirting from somebody's neck. I can forgive that. It's not the first time I've seen a movie where the blood didn't look believable. So that's my review for day number 1 of In the Month of Madness. I hope you guys really take the time to check this movie out. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you've ever seen this movie before. Well, so that's my review. Let me know if you agree or disagree, whatever the case may be. Drop it in the comment section down below. And I hope you guys continue to join me for it in the Month of Madness. Adios, y'all.